Dear viewers, welcome to our channel. Today I am going to discuss about the JAB accounts memory recalled questions of December 2020 examinations. These are the recalled questions from 12th December 2020 examination. Question number 1, bank's balance sheet schedule number 10 for fixed assets. Schedule number 10 for fixed assets. Schedule number 7, balances with other banks and money at call and short notice. These two questions were they are asked in this examination. And other most important schedules are from schedule number 8, investments, schedule number 9, advances. So these are the four important schedules from the bank's balance sheet asset side. Bank's second question, bank's profit and loss account. Second question, bank's profit and loss account. Schedule number 13, interest earned. Schedule number 13 is interest earned. Schedule number 14 is other income. Schedule number 15 is interest on deposits. Interest paid on deposits. Schedule number 16, other expenditure or operating expenditure. That is the schedules of 4. P&L, there are 4 schedules are there. Balance sheet, 11 schedules are there. Both are important. Third question, on asset is an asset is a application of fund, utilization of fund. Any asset in the balance sheet, it is a asset or utilization or application of funds. From the funds flow statement analysis or cash flow, an asset is a application or utilization of funds. Question number 4, International Financial Reporting Standards are issued by International Accounting Standard Board. International Accounting Standard Boards are going to issue the IFRS standards. In India, accounting standards are issued by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Accounting Standard Board in India. That is the question number 4. Question number 5, value of closing stock is shown lower of the cost price or market price as per which concept? That is conservatism concept. As for conservatism concept, we are going to take the cost price of the stock or market price of the stock, whichever is low, that we are going to take as for the all the purposes. This is question number 5. Question number 6, cost concept. Cost concept, this is also one of the accounting concept, meets all 3 basic criteria of relevance, objectivity and feasibility. So the cost concept has to meet all these 3 concepts. Question number 7, accounting standard 29 related. AS 29, accounting standard 29 related to provisions, contingent liabilities and contingent assets. This is the AS 29. Question number 8, 2 different companies are merged and a new company was formed with a new name of the new name. That is called as consolidation of companies. Consolidation. 2 different companies are merged and a new company was formed with a new name. That is called consolidation of 2 companies. This is question number 8. Question number 9, which is not a contingent liability. The question is very difficult. Which is not a contingent liability. That you have to understand that. So acknowledgement of debt is not a contingent liability. And normally the contingent liabilities are bank in the given examination question. Correct answer is acknowledgement of debt. Normally what are the contingent liabilities are? Bank guarantees, letter of credit, claims against the company under dispute. Now, in bank's balance sheet, we are showing the contingent liabilities under schedule number 12. Under schedule number 12, we are noting all the contingent liabilities of the bank. That is 9th question. 10th question, what is the negative lien? Negative lien. A declaration by a borrowing company that the company will not sell the property or shall not create charge any of the particular assets of the company without consent of the bank. This is the undertaking given by the borrowing company to the bank. That is called a negative lien. Negative lien is not required to register with SARSAI. Negative lien is not required to register with the Register of Companies. That is question number 10. Question number 11. EPS, earning per share formula. That asks formula. How we are going to calculate the earning per share? This is profitability ratio. Net profit after tax and preference dividend. Net profit after tax and preference dividend. This you will get from the P&L account divided by total number of equity shares. Total number of equity shares of the bank or company that is there. This information you will get from capital clause. From the banks or companies capital, paid up capital, if we can see in that paid up capital clause, you will get the paid up number of equity shares. So this is the overall net profit after tax and the preference dividend divided by total number of equity shares. This is 11 EPS. 12 price to earning ratio, PE ratio. At the time of investment, the investor will see in the market what is the PE ratio of the company. This is about the PE ratio, profit to earning ratio. Market price per equity share. Market price per equity share divided by earning per share. What is the earning per share? So at the time of investment, the investors will see that what is the PE ratio, whether it is quoting high or whether it is quoting low or more than industry average, that the investors will see. That is question number 12. Question number 13. Which of the following statements are required for calculation of return on investment? For calculation of return on investment, this is also profitability ratio. Profit, what from where you will get this information for calculating return of investment? That is the question. Profit and loss account and balance sheet, both the statements are required for getting information for the calculation of return on investment. What is the formula for the calculation of return on investment? Extension I am giving. Profit before interest and tax. Profit before interest and tax divided by capital employed. Capital employed. Capital employed is equal share capital plus reserves and surpluses plus long-term loans. Long-term loans investments. So this is the capital employed. Share capital, reserves, surpluses plus long-term loans. So what is the question? What statements are required? Profit and loss account. For this, for profit before interest and tax, we need P&L account. Share capital, reserves and surplus long-term loans, we need balance sheet. That's why the question is a indirect question. What type of statements mean? Both the statements. Balance sheet is required, P&L is also required. That is question number 13. Question number 14, book value per share calculation. How we are going to calculate the book value of a company or book value of a bank, particular bank? Formula is shareholder funds. Shareholder funds means net worth. Net worth of the bank or net worth of the company, or shareholder funds divided by total outstanding equity shares from paid up capital. Total number of outstanding equity shares, then you will get book value per share. This is also at the time of investment, investor will see what is the book value of this company. That is question number 14. Question number 15, section 6 of the Banking Regulation Act 1949. Section 6. In addition to the normal banking business, as per section 5, a banking company may carry out any one or more of the forms of other businesses. So banking company doing other types of businesses defined in section 6. Main business, section 5. This other businesses, any form of businesses defined under section 6. That is question number 15. Question number 16. What is the balance sheet equation? Simple question, normal question. Assets is equal to equities. Equities is equal to total liabilities or total claims to outsiders. Or assets is equal to liabilities plus capital. Or liabilities is equal to assets minus capital. Or capital is equal to assets minus liabilities. So almost all are same. This is a balance sheet equation. Overall, what it says, total assets is equal to total liabilities, or total liabilities is equal to total assets. That is the balance sheet equation. 16 question number. 17, which is not a method of depreciation. Not a method of depreciation. This you have to know. First you have to know what are the methods of depreciation first. Straight line method, this is the exam question, which is not a method of depreciation. So, method of depreciation, straight line method, where depreciation is every year same amount. Pretended value method, where you are going to depreciation on diminishing balance method. This is another one is sum of years digit method and double declining balance method. As for this examination question, that is revaluation of assets is not comes under the method of depreciation. Maybe this is the question answer, but you have to see what is exact question. This is the, but question is which is not a method of depreciation. For answering this question, the participant, the student must have the basic minimum knowledge about the method of depreciation. Without knowing this, we cannot answer this question. 17. 18. What are the bill of exchange features? Simple question. As for section 5 of NI Act, bill of exchange is in writing. Bill of exchange signed by the maker. Second, containing, it is an unconditional order. This is important. Bill of exchange is containing an unconditional order to pay a certain sum of money. This is also one point. Normally in bills of exchange, 3 parties are there. Bill of exchange attracts stamp duty. It is payable after beyond 90 days. Payable after 90 days. Attracts stamp duty also. So, these are the features of bill of exchange. This question, almost in all the examinations, they are asking now the bill of exchange features. Section 18. Section 19. Goodwill, trademarks are which type of accounts? Real accounts. Goodwill and trademarks are intangible assets. Goodwill and trademarks are intangible assets. Intangible assets, for intangible assets accounting standard is 26, and all the goodwill, trademarks, intangible assets are real accounts. That is the question number 19. Question number 20, adjustment entry. This is very important from the accountancy paper. Adjustment entries are made at the end of the accounting year for the outstanding salaries or outstanding rent or advance rent paid or advance insurance premium paid as per accrual concept. We have to pass the adjustment entries based on the accounting period. We have to pass these adjustment entries. Question number 21, NWC, net working capital, current assets less current liabilities. Net working capital is equal to current assets less current liabilities. That is called net working capital. Here gross working capital is equal to total of current assets. Gross working capital means total of current assets. Where NWC is minus. Sometimes they are asking net working capital is minus means current liabilities are more than the current assets. When the NWC is minus, negative, current ratio is less than 1. When NWC is negative, current ratio is less than 1. This is about 21. Working capital assessment is very important. 21. 22. Composite voucher or a consolidated voucher. So, transactions that are interconnected transactions, we are taking place simultaneously and recorded by means of a combined journal entry. Here we are one debit, so many credits, or so many credits, one debit, that we are passing in one under single combined journal entry. If the amount spent on a same day, single voucher we are passing. That is also composite voucher or consolidated voucher. This is simple 22 question. 23. Official valid documents. Examination question. Which one is not comes under the official valid documents? This is the exam question. Ration card is not the official valid documents. First, for answering this question, you have to know this. What are the official valid documents as per Reserve Bank of India? KYC circular. KYC circular. Official valid documents are passport, driving license, Aadhaar number, Aadhaar card, voter identity card, Nariga card, or letter issued by the National Population Register containing. This is also, all these 6 will come part of official valid documents. Exam question is, which one is not part of OVD? That is ration card. This is the exam question. 24. Inoperative account means there is no operation for a period more than 2 years. When there is no operative in any account, automatically we can put a tag as inoperative account. And inoperative account for more than 10 years or unclaimed deposits more than 10 years, we are going to transfer to Reserve Bank of India under DEAF, Deposit Education and Awareness Fund. Unclaimed or inoperative more than 10 years. That is about the question number 24, inoperative account. Question number 25, capital expenditure. What are the examples of capital expenditure? Capital expenditure means purchase of land, building, plant, machinery, furniture. This will comes under capital expenditure. So what is there? Acquiring of fixed assets. Land, building, plant and machinery. Acquiring of fixed assets, comma, expenditure incurred for installation of fixed assets. Whatever the expenditure incurred during the process of installation of that assets, that expenditure also part of capital expenditure. And any other expenditure which increases the capacity of the asset. Any expenditure which you are incurring for increasing the earning capacity of the asset is also part of capital expenditure. This is the definition for 25th capital expenditure. 26. Now, examination question. What they are? Which activities are not covered under para banking activities? So, for answering this, first you have to know what are the para banking activities. Banks are doing para banking activities for income purpose, other income purpose, additional income purpose. Banks are doing hair purchase, leasing, investments in money market, selling of money market mutual funds, portfolio management services on behalf of customers, doing primary dealership business, insurance, selling pension funds. These are all comes under the para banking. Why banks are doing para banking? For getting additional and supplementary income, banks are doing. The exam question is functions, activities not covered under para banking activity means. So core banking activities are not the para banking. Core banking means deposit accepting, investments, advances. All these are our main core activities. Core activities are not. This is the banking activity. This core activities we are doing for income, interest income earning purpose. We are doing core banking activities. But whereas para banking activities only income purpose, additional income purpose, we are doing this business. That is 26. 27. Capital budgeting appraisal techniques. Capital budgeting appraisal techniques. Again you have to divide into 2. Non-discounted cash flow techniques, where the non-discounted cash flow techniques cannot recognize the time value of money. What are the methods? Payback period and accounting rate of return. Payback and accounting rate of return. And discounted cash flow techniques. Discounted cash flow techniques are which recognize the time value of money in the capital appraisal, capital budgeting process. What are the methods under discounted cash flow techniques? Net present value, internal rate of return and benefit cost ratio. These 3 methods comes under discounted cash flow methods. These payback period and accounting rate of return comes under non-discounted methods. This is about question number 27. Question number 28. The redemption value of the bond. Redemption value means repayment. On maturity repayment, normally it is face value. Face value of the bond is going to be repaid by the issuing company. This is a simple question. That is the redemption value. Question number 29. What major agencies providing refinance does not include. So देख लीजिए, who are the major agencies providing refinance, but the which one not comes under this providing. So Exim Bank is not providing any refinance. What are the major refinancing providing institutions in India? One is Reserve Bank of India, First you have to know the meaning of this. Which organizations are providing refinance to the banks? One is Reserve Bank of India, second one is NABARD, third one is SIDBI, fourth one is NHB, National Housing Bank. These four are the major refinancing organizations in India. The exam question is not which organization is not providing the refinance, that is Exim Bank of India. That's exactly this. That's why this is some questions are very difficult. For answering these questions, you have to know about full information about the refinancing methodology. And 30th question, last question. Intrinsic value of a bond is equal to. Intrinsic value means present value of the bond. Intrinsic value of the bond means present value of the bond. What is meant by present value of the bond? At a yield rate, if you are converting the future income into today's value at discounting rate, that total present value of the future inflows is equal to present value of the bond. That is called intrinsic value of the bond. Where we are using this intrinsic value or present value of the bond in investments or treasury. At the time of investments, if we want to purchase any bond, we cannot pay more than the intrinsic value of the bond or more than the present value of the bond as of today. So that is the purpose for calculation of intrinsic value or present value of the bond. This is the 30th questions, 30 questions of the recollected questions from accountancy 12th December 2020 examination. Thank you very much for all for watching our videos. We are providing very quality updated videos for the forthcoming JAB, CAB and promotional exams. We are also conducting CAB, JAB online classes. Any interested members, please contact our number, and I am requesting all the viewers to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for all for watching our YouTube channel.